Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and so we got ourselves today here a BP Will and Slowbro showcase. It's more like Slow Sis, it's female. Anyway, Slow. So, Will is a tech character, and of course he's one of the new BP units, a character that people probably tend to overlook a little bit, but this character's pretty solid, especially for being like free psychic. Granted, he's more of a character that a new player would pick simply because they don't have an option like Olympia, probably, but I do think he does have some legitimate, like, good utility tools to him. He's obviously got the ability to max out his stats for the most part, plus for special attack, max and crit. His offensive stats are set, right? He's got +2 defense as well, if you want to try and make a little bit of utilization of that, a little bit of physical bulk, I guess. He's got aggravation 9 and honor roll 9 for guaranteed confusion when using Confusion, and guaranteed special defense drops when using Psychic, his main damaging option, not too bad for free standards, and Confusion, Synergy 5 for a power buff whenever enemies are confused for his psychic damage. Off of a 424 special attack stat, that's not too bad. In all fairness, I did kind of expect similar for BP Lucamine, but we kind of know how that went. Either way, whatever. This is a different case. He's tech, so his nuke's actually good too. He's got innate special defense drops for the nuke, not hard to activate, and of course he can do that mostly himself, which is great for the most part. He's not too bad, frankly. Like for just a base kit, that's not really too bad. Definitely not a bad, I guess like standard to have. And when it comes to the grid, he's got some pretty decent tools. He's got hit and heal on the trainer move, and of course NPR on top of that as well. NPR right there. He's also got ramp up. If you want to be able to max out your special attack without utilizing a support character, you can do that if you want to. And again, the healing is good for like legendary gauntlet and stuff like that, can be legitimately helpful. He's got Fuzzy Strike 5 for a 50% sync nuke multiplier. Plus he's got up to 4 sync nodes that you can pick up if you want to get more nuking bonuses. And he also has to stop hitting yourself 5 for confusion gaming. Could be good in some gauntlet stuff. And in one of the later battles in this video, which is funny. Brain Teaser for special defense drops, again for more damage. Well, he gets more damage the more special defense drops, right? So he's got more damaging options, again, or more damage potential, rather. Combine that with like Confusion Synergy and like Critical Strike 2 as a lucky skill, all that stuff. Those are most of his abilities. He does have like Easy Pickings 4 as well for some debuffs. Could be potentially good against Latias or like other fluid fortification enemies that it could be helpful for that. He's also got hit interference, super effective next. So if you are trying to do super effective damage and you want to get super effective next, a good character for that, right? You can get some super effective next, get some good damage, could power up your damage, and could power up your nuke. So that's mostly what he's got. He's a character with a pretty solid nuke. Confusion and special defense drops are his go-to, and he's got good damage potential with Psychic as his main damaging option. It's not too bad off of his offensive stat as well. This is a non-EX showcase, so of course EX he would look quite a bit more impressive, but even without the EX I think he looks pretty good. Honestly, not a bad character to make utilization of. My only problem, he's slow. It's in the name, Slowbro, right? But he's kind of slow. No real gauge management stuff other than the occasional gauge refreshes. No speed buffs, no gauge acceleration, no free moves next, nothing like that. That's really my only complaint with this character, because you're mostly going to use them in like gauntlet scenarios, and you kind of want to be able to manage your gauge there as well. So my only real complaint, but Fast Track 2, whatever, his lucky skill can help that out. Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Will and Slowbro in some battles. Alright, so the first battle is Double Will, featuring Sabrina. So, I guess Gen 2 Psychic types. Anyway, so, sure. Let's go ahead and pop against Psychic Weak Wallace. I recorded this a while ago, so I don't exactly remember how the battle goes. But, I mean, it does show that, of course, he works well, right? Like, you can combine the flinch utility of regular Will alongside the confusion utility of both of them, frankly. And, of course, special defense drops helps out both of them because Will's really good for having store power damage, right? Very, very solid there. So, I mean, Will's doing decent enough damage so far, right? Like, we don't have all the special defense drops or anything like that, no sync buffs, whatever, but, I mean, he's doing pretty well for himself, for sure, which is great, obviously. Anyway, go for the Sabrina sync move here. Also, another character that's got some good on-type damage, simply because, obviously, Psychic type, she's got Critical Strike 2. She's one of the, like, supports back in the day that can actually do damage as well, which I kind of wish she still could. I kind of wish they honestly would have tried to like enhance her damage a little bit with her upgrade, but that's neither here nor there. Either way, of course, Will's doing good damage. This is all without like enhancement of Psychic Terrain or Psychic Rebuff or anything like that. But he's still doing pretty good, honestly. Like, of course, there's no confusion here on the enemies. That's why we got regular Will here to use Confuse Ray. But he's still doing pretty good, obviously. And that's good. Getting stored power damage in here as well. So Sabrina's obviously able to max out our stats, and obviously the other Will as well, until she goes down, sadly, because her tank stats are not that great. Either way, the damage that these characters can do with each other is pretty good. And I mean, if you want to substitute a buff in the form of Psychic Terrain with a character like regular Will, you can't do that. Though honestly, in this instance, and mostly talking about Psychic types, it would be better just to bring Bianca anyway, even if you're... Man, that's a good power nuke. Even if you're like a free team, simply because Bianca is free and she has stored power as well. So, on top of having Psychic Terrain, it tends to work out better. Anyway, whatever. Finish him off there with stored power. Very, very nice. I just went ahead and finished the battle. Didn't matter. Yeah, I mean, not too bad, right? Double Will and does work, and of course he's going to handle Psychic Weak content without too much issue, really, at all. There's not really much else to prove there. If you figure as much, right? It's similar to that the BP Roche BP Rose showcase where, like, he was good against on-type stage. He literally hit through Sentry Entry, Glacier, right? Simply because the partners for that time were just too strong, or like even a free team. Colress and Hop and Zamazenta, like, goodbye. It's funny. Anyway, yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to handle Psychic Weak content without much issue. The only problem that I think he faces is, like, Terrakion, which he's able to buff his defense, which is great, but he doesn't really have the debuffs for Terrakion, unless you want to really rely on easy pickings for offensive debuffs. But, I mean, it's up to you. And, of course, he could also Sleep Chain. I did try Sleep Chaining him. It's definitely doable, for sure, but I'm not... that was so painful. I tried it for a while, got to the final bar quite a few times, but... couldn't make it past that point. He can brute force bar 1 and bar 2 though, so I mean that's something. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on to the next battle. And speaking of not utilizing Psychic Terrain or Psychic Rebuff, let's go ahead and make utilization of both of them. Plus special moves next, because Champion Rosa is broken. Anyway, yeah, I mean, obviously under this type of enhancement, Will's going to do well. Will do well, yes. He's got the multipliers for it, right? Confusion, Synergy 5, Confusion, Synergy 5, Brain Teaser, his own ability to do special defense drops. One of the other big things that I think is not great about him is his lack of total efficiency of special defense drops. I mean, we've gotten characters in the past who can do easy drops of, like, stats, right? Even free ones. So, I don't think it's, fair or right to say that Will shouldn't be able to do that. Like, can we give him the ability to? That'd be great. Anyway, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It's fine. I wish Bianca's stats were a little bit higher, but that's not that big of a deal either as well. Whatever. I mean, look at him. With the enhancement of special moves next, Psychic Terrain, Psychic Rebuff, he's going to be doing quite well. And we're finally going to get the Confusion in there, so that's a 50% extra multiplier on top of it. We can't really deal with having the special defense buffs as well, sadly, but it's whatever, it happens. Go ahead, get in the buddy move with Rosa, so we got ourselves, should be plus 2 special moves next once, once we use Confusion there. So now we get in our final Psychic, and we also have this many turns before they use their sync move. We're going to have -1 special defense when attacking. 10,000 damage there is not too bad. Even, again, okay, plus 3 special moves next. That's obviously a lot, but like 10,000 damage, that's not too bad. Without having a lot of special defense drops. Again, if Will had his full multipliers activated, there's 17,000 damage. If Will had all of his multipliers activated there, he would look a lot more impressive. And then you see Rosa pop out like 3,000 damage AoE moves from a support. Oh, that's funny. Whatever. Point is that, again, under like the enhancement of a lot of these really, really good Psychic type characters or Psychic type enhancers, a lot of these characters can look good, of course Will included. I really do just wish he could buff his special defense or debuff special defense a little faster. You could give him Mind Games as a lucky skill, but then of course you miss out on the damage from Critical Strike, so that sucks. Or of course like utility of Vigilance or whatever else you may want to put on him for like a Legendary Gauntlet or something like that. But also in those modes, his special defense debuffing efficacy is honestly not that bad. It's just more so for these shorter battles that you really want or would really prefer a better special defense debuffer, which we're going to utilize in the next setup, so no worries there. But yeah, I mean, he's pretty strong for it. He's still pretty strong, frankly. And again, with the 6-star EX, he would look a lot more impressive. But again, I'm not willing to invest that level of investment into this character simply because I'm not really interested in Will or Slowbro that much as a pairing, or as even individuals. Maybe Mega Slowbro. Which one are we gonna get that, by the way? Mega Slowbro. Come on. There's a lot of Megas that are still not in the game. Give them to us. That'd be great. Whatever, either way, there it was. The enhancement under Psychic Terrain and Psychic Rebuff. Pretty much Will's quote-unquote max setup, but of course, replace Bianca with another partner. Probably would look better. But yeah, whatever. There it is. Alright, for the final setup, it's like a little confusion synergy setup with Iono and Bead. Iono's really just here for Z-buffs because it's the Blizzard spamming Glacier stage, and then Beat is here for, again, the confusion buffs and confusion applying and all that stuff. Whatever, anyway. Point is, these characters can work together. Iono does help with the gauge management via her free moves next. And again, that's another one of the issues I do think that Will has, is his lack of gauge management. I do think it's not great, but it's also a lot more he can play around it a lot better than a lot of other characters in his same situation, so it's also simultaneously not that big of a deal. Either way, this stage loves to spam attacking moves. This stage does not have a gimmick, but it may as well be a gimmick with how much they spam it, so yeah, whatever. Anyway, we go for the max move with Bead so we can get in some paralysis on all of the enemies, also some more faster special defense debuffs, some AoE damage as well. And honestly, towards the end of this battle, it's just hilarious. It really is. It's so funny to see. Whatever. We're getting a lot of debuffs in, which is very crucial, of course, here for our damage. And again, we don't have enhancement of Psychic Terrain. We don't have enhancement of Psychic Rebuff. We're really just working with the special moves next from Iono and the special defense debuffs from Will and Bee themselves. Again, those special defense debuffs from Bee do kind of make the difference, right? They do really help out quite a lot. Oh my god, this battle's funny. I love this so much. Anyway, so Will's doing good psychic damage on the sides, of course, here. That's all fine. That's all well and good. We go for Will's nuke. And Will's nuke is fine. It does fine damage here. So let's just take a look at it. I don't actually remember how much it was. 14,000 damage, again, with support EX, no psychic terrain, all that good stuff. Yeah, it does good damage, clearly. Hit themselves in confusion. I love this battle. This is my magnum opus of luck. Hit themselves in confusion. Use a psychic there, they get KO'd. Goodbye. This is where Gage starts getting bad, because this is where Iono would go down. Gets confused. Hits themselves in confusion. Oh my god, that's funny. And then queue up another confusion here. Try to anyway, doesn't work. Blizzard hit themselves in confusion. So who's to say that stop hitting yourself 5 does nothing? Okay, come on. I think some legendary gauntlet runners would love to have this luck when using Will in the next season. Anyway, that's the final battle. That battle I was supposed to lose that battle. Everything was pointing to me losing that battle, but I just use up all my luck and apply just all the hits. We love that. So that was funny. Anyway, whatever. That's pretty much all I really have for this Will showcase. I do think he's also a solid character for like the Legendary Gauntlet, and you could probably make utilization of him in places like a future Psychic High Score event, which I think we had the Psychic High Score event before it changed to a double format, so they could still, again, redo that type like they did with Water. But anyway, not really the point. He can be good in other game modes, obviously. He's got some decent tools and decent usability. It's not really as good as Rose, because Rose has got gauge efficiency, he's got flinches, he's got debuffs, but Will in turns also got debuffs, confusion, a little bit of healing, good nuke on top of it as well, but still, again, good character. I think Rose is probably my favorite of all the new BPs, outside of, no, I'd say Rose is my favorite, honestly, just for the new BPs at all in all, but whatever. Anyway, Will's still good, so that's nice, especially for Will fans. You got a new, really solid, usable alt. Gotta love that. Can't really complain too much for a character that's like somewhat obscure. He's an Elite Four member, so kind of not really. Whatever. I'll see you later. I hope you all enjoyed.